Hi, I'm Brent Strand with the Canadian Avalanche Association's Industry Training Program. In this video, we'll be demonstrating an organized probe line technique called one hole per step. One hole per step probing is used when a team of probers is searching for buried subjects who either aren't wearing a transceiver or their transceiver is not functioning. It is one of the easiest probe lines to set up, so it can be used with untrained probers. It can also be used with skis and skins on and when probing in difficult terrain. For example, when there are downed trees or large debris chunks. By the end of this video, learners will be able to describe one hole per step probing method and when to use it. Before setting up the probe line, it's important to assign a probe strike team leader.
Okay, setting up for one hole per step probe line.
The probe strike team leader can stand to one side, or if the leader is needed for probing, they should be in the center of the probe line. It's also helpful to mark the probing laneway with red wands, pre-placed in a lane as wide as the probe line when probers are spaced out. As shown here, to set up the probe strike team, they stand shoulder to shoulder. There should be a maximum of 10 probers in a probe line. If there are more than 10 probers, then a second probe strike team leader should be assigned and they can run an adjacent separate probe line. Once the team of probers is ready, the probe strike team leader gives the following. Probe, forward, forward, forward. Upon hearing probe, the searchers insert their probes between their feet, holding the probe perpendicular to the slope before pushing it down 150 centimeters for the first pass. They do this using two hands where the top hand pushes the probe downward and the lower hand guides it into the snow. At each forward command, probers place their probe tip on the snow 50 centimeters upslope from their last probe insertion. Step forward and probe perpendicular into the snow. As the probe strike team moves upslope, there should be no side-to-side movement of feet. Searchers just place the probe 50 centimeters forward and then step forward and probe. There are a few considerations with one hole per step probing. For example, if a team member gets out of alignment with the probe line, then the realignment must happen by having the team step backwards downhill as opposed to forwards. And if there's no success with the first pass using 150 centimeter probe depth, then a second pass is done. The probe line should be set up 25 centimeters forward and 25 centimeters to the right of the last probe start line and probe to at least 2.5 meters deep. By adjusting the probe line, it allows for randomized probe hole spacing. After two passes, searchers should realign and switch to fine probing if it is a likely area of burial. This creates more perforations in the snowpack and can be helpful for dog teams to pick up more scent. Check out the video on fine probing to learn about how that's done.